8, 10 fights. So I think Crawford would be favored, but I don't know. I mean, that's you want to see the fights where it's not so clear who's going to win.
And last thing, I can ask you about Floyd. Just fully retired. Max, what do you think of his performance? And do you think we'll see him again for his
It was a sparring session basically, and of course he's going to fight again.
Who do you think he can fight? Again?
Chavez's 89-0 record versus Mayweather's 49-0 record.
The record is not 49-0. The record is 49-0, and then you die eventually, and it's still 49-0, right? Like, or 50-0. Right? That's what it is. Because Chavez, right? Chavez went to 87-0, even though he lost to Purnell and he got a gift. But even so, that's not what the record is. The record is that you're finished fighting forever, and you have the undefeated. It's not really about passing the mark, you know. You got a belt holder right now in boxing. I'm forgetting who it is. Who's 48-0, something like 47-0, and it's no one you even care about.
Who's better, Roy Jones or Floyd Mayweather?
A lot of people think he's slowing down.
At their best, Roy. Look, Roy and Floyd were contemporaries. I had Floyd number 2 pound for pound back then, and there was no one around who was like, I wonder who's better pound for pound, Roy or Floyd. Everyone, it was unanimous. Everyone was like, no, Roy is here, and then you could talk about everyone else. And then people started getting cute. What about Shane? What about Trinidad? What about Oscar? No, stop. It was Roy. But I thought Floyd was up there, ahead of everyone else, but behind Roy. Were any of us back then going like, yo, Floyd is just as good as Roy? No. It wasn't until Roy came down, and then
What do you think about?
Sure. When Biggie died, then all of a sudden you could have a conversation, right?
When Wu-Tang Clan broke up.
Right. Or Willie Pep. Yeah. No, that's the argument. Floyd was able to maintain that level consistently because he took better care of himself late into his career.
For me, Purnell Whitaker, my goodness.
Oh my God,
Purnell had more defensive genius, but he didn't have the same discipline over time. No, it's too slow.
Does Floyd still look fresh to you? Can he still continue going? Do you see a slowdown in him?
How many rounds has he lost recently?
Some would say 0.
Thank you, Mr. Conley.
Thanks.
What do you see?
Cotto, depending on how Cotto looks against Canelo, if Cotto, fighting in more of a Cuban amateur style, could win 3 or 4 rounds from Floyd and bust him up a little bit, what does Cotto, depending on how he looks against Canelo, do as a rejuvenated, aggressive fighter against Floyd? That would be interesting too, eventually.
Max, what do you think about Floyd not even putting Sugar Ray Robinson in his top 5 pound for pound?
You know how those things are done? That was off a TV show, and someone asked me along the way, like, who do you think he should rate? And so, like, that's not that serious, you know.
Right.
But he has a lot of respect for Purnell Whitaker, as he should, and he thinks very highly of himself. And who else did he put up there? Chavez. You know.
Durant.
That's a joke not to put Robinson up there, though. Yeah.
What's an HBO boxing story people on the other side of the rope may not know? Max, tell us a story.
I don't know. But no,
You're a great storyteller, Max.
I'm not going to stand here all night doing it.
You're a great storyteller, Max.
I did it I answered a lot of questions. I can't start telling stories now.
One story.
Where do you rate Pacquiao right now?
Inactive is where I rate it.
But you know, a lot of people are fighting him down. A lot of people putting him down now that he lost to Floyd. Where do you rate?
Well, I mean, if Floyd is 1, if you want to consider him retired, then I move Andre to 1. Wow. A lot of people are like, well, he's been inactive for a long time. Okay, you want to count that against him, but as Roy was saying tonight, if you want to just take talent combined with skill and where you think they're heading, Lomachenko. But he doesn't have the resume to back that up yet, professionally. But the guy who I'm like, just eyeball test, you're like, whoa, no, that guy is Lomachenko. But if you want to go by resume, skill, who you think would beat whom, Andre. And then after Andre, you have a good argument. You know, among a bunch of guys.
Is Triple G for real?
Yeah, I think he is, but it's not. Triple G has scared guys away from, you know, like, I don't have him as high pound for pound as others do because he hasn't proven it yet because they don't want to fight him. The only guy who'll fight him is the one guy who'd be favored to beat him, who's Andre.
How do you see Golovkin versus the Nice right now?
He can't.
First belt.
So do you think Andre Ward takes over as